Welcome back to CP24 Breakfast, and it's time for a Wellness Wednesday segment. And women spend at least a third of their life in a menopausal state, yet half of women say they feel unprepared for menopause. High heels and hot flashes is a movement to remove the stigma and silence that surrounds menopause and help people feel seen and heard. Co-founder Sam Montpetit-Huynh will be hosting a workshop at the Women's Healthy Living Show this weekend. She joins us this morning for a myth-busting menopause conversation. Sam, good morning to you. I'm so excited to meet you today and have this conversation because I feel like I'm kind of in the realm of the perimenopause era. But we're going to do things a little bit differently this morning. Normally people tune in and, we do the interviews here. How about you interview me today, Sam?
Good idea.
I love this idea.
Okay, I do too. Thank you so much for having me. This is great. So yes, so there are a lot of myths out there. So let's try to dispel a few of them, right? So now you already mentioned the fact that women spend about a third of their time of their life in menopause, and that includes perimenopause, menopause, and post. And that's a long time, and so people don't even think about that. So that's a really important factor. So the next one is, though, women in menopause, how long would you say they have to be without a period to actually hit menopause?
I would say like at least 6 months.
Nope, it's actually 12 months.
12 months.
Yes. So it's the last day of the 12th month of no menses, and that's when you've officially hit menopause.
Wow. And there are women that I know also struggle with their menstrual cycles from like other things like maybe PCOS or other situations. So this really adds to all of that stress that we already go through with this stuff.
It does. And so people think, well, I'm just stressed and that's why my periods are all over the place. But most doctors will say that once you hit the age of 40, you're at some stage of perimenopause. Hormones are starting to change. And you can actually be in perimenopause anywhere between 3 up to 10 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So here's the next question, okay? So what are the following could be indicators of menopause?
Okay.
All right, so heart palpitations?
I'd say yes.
Okay. What about a histamine response?
That I wouldn't think.
Yes.
Actually.
100%.
Oh my gosh, interesting.
Yes.
I know the hot flashes, like we think menopause and the first symptom everyone talks about is like, oh my God, I'm dying of heat.
Yes, but not everybody struggles with hot flashes.
Right.
I've never had a hot flash, touch wood.
Yeah, that's great.
But I know when I went through perimenopause, all of a sudden I felt like I was allergic to everything. I got itchy ears. I was getting skin rashes. Yes, because hormonal changes affect everything.
I might have to look into this myself because I've been finding recently I get like rashes and hives from dogs, which I've never been my entire life. So Sam, we're debunking the myths here. I love this.
100%.
Okay.
Now, what about insulin resistance?
Well, then I would have to say sure, because if we're talking about the histamines, yeah,
100%.
that would go hand in hand.
And then irritability?
Sure.
Anxiety?
Of course.
What about joint pain?
I would say so.
100%.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, we have estrogen receptors in all of our parts of our body, including our muscles, our joints, and our tissues. So when estrogen starts to decline, we actually start feeling it. And all of a sudden, we're getting out of bed and we feel like, why do I feel like I'm 100 years old when I'm only 54?
Right.
I'm 54.
And you look amazing.
Oh, well, thank
amazing.
you so much. Thank you so much.
I feel like there's so many conversations and so many more questions we can talk about because I want to talk about, obviously, what you're going to be doing at the show this weekend because its inaugural show. It's very exciting. And I will be the first to say there is not enough conversation being had about women's health. We need a lot more advocacy out there. We need to have a lot more of these complicated conversations. What can you tell me about this show and what it means for you to be there and have the representation there?
Yes, thank you so much. So the Women's Healthy Living Show, it is the first inaugural show. We're so excited. It is this weekend, the 7th and the 8th, and it's curated for women 30 plus, and we're talking about all things that have to do with women's health. So we're talking about physical health, emotional health, social, financial. We're going to have workshops and speakers, and then we also have a lot of information about menopause, right? So this is where our event, High Heels and Hot Flashes.
Love the name.
Thank you so much. I am the co-founder with my business partner, Nadine Woods, and this event is special, and we call it the menopause event of the year because we've created it to help amplify the voices of women of color in the menopause space. It's very lacking when it comes to representation and diversity, so that's why we decided we're really going to focus on that. And so this year, what we're doing it on the evening of the 7th, so on Saturday night from 6:30 to 9:30. We are going to be screening the M Factor film, which is a menopause documentary. It's fantastic. And then when we're finished with it, we're going to be doing a panel with Tracy Moore, who everybody knows and loves, Dr. Marjorie Dixon, and Dr. Deanne Sims, and Nadine and ourselves. And it's really let's put it this way, our event is a vibe. There's a reason why it always sells out, and so people do not want to miss it. It's going to be fantastic.
Okay, so quickly, can you tell us where people can get more information to get tickets, come and check you out, and come and check out the show?
100%. So they go to womenshealthyliving.show.com. You can grab your tickets. If you use the code INSTA10, you'll get $10 off. And once you buy the ticket, then you can come and join us for High Heels and Hot Flashes.
Sam Montpetit-Huynh, it has been an absolute pleasure. I wish we could talk. We could talk about this for so much longer. Good luck with the show this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and debunking some of those menopause myths.